guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be doing my Premier League game week 12 predictions. It's absolutely huge. There's some absolutely massive games. Man, like Tottenham's there, Fulham, Villa, like there's some big games here today and in this game. And yeah, there are 9 games this game week because the biggest game of the week has been postponed. Arsenal versus Manchester City has been postponed due to Arsenal have to play an Europa League game on Thursday because the game got postponed in the Europa League, so they have to play this week. So nothing bad. It's just a postponed game. They have to play in the Europa League. So yeah, the biggest game, Arsenal Man City, has been postponed, but that leads us off with 9 games, 9 decent games. Should we get off with the first one, which is Brighton and Hove Albion versus Nottingham Forest? And Forest are down there. They're last. 20th position at the moment, 5 points out of a possible 30. They're looking really rough. Forest are poor. I was at 6 losses in the last 7, 1 win all season. That was at home. Who did they beat? West Ham 1-0 on the 14th of August. So their first win was the 14th of August, and they haven't won since. So yeah, their last result was a 1-0 loss to Wolves, which I guess is not the worst result, but it's still, it's still a bad result. Forest just don't look great. They've got Brighton tomorrow, and then they've got Liverpool. They've got Brighton, then Liverpool. That's just points lost straight away. It's going to be tough for Forest, especially away to Brighton. Brighton are a strong side. That they look good. They're unique. They're not unique, but they look good. They did just lose to Brentford 2-0, but they sit 7th in the Conference League spots. For me, they get a comfortable 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest, and I can just see them, getting a better result. Moving on to Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Wolves actually winning a game of football. That moves them out of the relegation zone into 17th. Their second win of the season. 2 home wins against Southampton and Nottingham Forest, both 1-0. It was a penalty to beat Nottingham Forest. It was a calm penalty from Ruben Neves. But honestly, this Wolves side just don't look great. 1-0 win over Forest. Yes, it's a win, but it's still just a bit. It's not great. And they could definitely need to improve on that, especially goals. They need to improve on that. They've conceded 12 goals all season, scored 4. They've lacked in front of goal quite a lot. So yeah, for me, I think Wolves get this win. Palace will get this win. They did draw to Leicester. I think Leicester could have definitely won that game. Palace aren't in the best position either. 13th, they are only 2 points off safety. So yeah, for me, Palace get a win. 2-0 Palace. Wolves don't score. Wolves have been poor. And yeah, moving on to Wednesday's games with Bournemouth versus Southampton. Both teams going in opposite directions. Southampton 18th in the relegation zone. Bournemouth in 10th. Bournemouth surprising a lot of teams. Surprisingly, only 5 points off both teams, and one's 18th, one's 10th. So a lot still to play for. Southampton get this win, they can move up to about 13th. So Southampton, they're not in the mud at all. It's going to be an interesting game. I think Southampton can definitely get, at least a point here, but they are away on a Wednesday night at Bournemouth. It's a tough match. Bournemouth are unbeaten in the last 6, 2 wins, 4 draws. They look great. For me, it'll be a 1-0 Bournemouth win. A strong, a cagey affair. But yeah, moving on to Brentford versus Chelsea. Chelsea in 4th right now, and Brentford in 9th. Brentford are no mugs. They are a tough team. Chelsea 4 wins on the bounce. Brentford beating Brighton, and their form's been a bit hit and miss in the last few games. 3 draws, 2 wins, 2 losses. Under Graham Potter, Chelsea have been a new team. A 2-1 win over West Ham, a 2-1 Palace, a 3-0 Wolves, and then a 2-0 Villa. Kepa, unbelievable over Villa. There was about 3 or 4 chances where Villa should have scored. A triple save from Kepa. For me, Chelsea winning 3-1. They're fourth at the moment. Their form is not looking bad. 6 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. 3 home, 3 away. So they've evened it out. Brentford, 3 wins this season. 3 home wins. So, Brentford are no mugs at home. But for me, I'm locking it in. 3-1 Chelsea. Strong performance. And moving on to Liverpool versus West Ham. Liverpool sitting in 8th, West Ham in 12th. Only 2 points separate these two sides. West Ham have really changed their form around. 2-0 over Wolves, 3-1 over Fulham, and a 1-1 over Southampton. Unbeaten in 3, looking strong. But Liverpool, unbelievable. Beating Man City 1-0 after losing to Arsenal 3-2, drawing to Brighton at home. Everton, they've had a really poor season, Liverpool, but I think that win has really boosted them. They're only 6 points off Champions League, so they possibly could get into that. I think it's a bit tough now. I think they need to go on like a mad winning streak to get back. And I think they'll get a 2-2 draw here over West Ham. West Ham aren't looking bad themselves. A 1-1 over Southampton, but before that, some good wins. 12. They were in the relegation zone. They really pushed themselves out of there. That's 3 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses, 9 conceded, 9 scored, 11 conceded. Liverpool. West Ham looking decent. Moving on to Newcastle versus Everton. Newcastle aren't looking bad. Sitting in 6th in the Europa League spots, 4 points off the Champions League spots. Everton in 14th aren't looking awful. They did just lose to Tottenham 2-0 and United 2-1, so not bad results. 2 wins this season, 4 draws, 4 losses, 1 at home, 1 away. 2 losses, 2 draws, and then just 2 wins and a bunch of draws. So, Everton aren't having a bad season. I think Newcastle, they win this game. Newcastle look better. They just look better for me. 2-1 Newcastle. Wilson, Almiron, just looking better. Moving on to Manchester United versus Tottenham, the best game of the week in my opinion. Tottenham in 3rd, United in 5th. United have a game in hand. They win this, they go on 19 points. They win their game in hand, they go on 22 points. 1 point off Tottenham. Honestly, Tottenham are looking great. Honestly, they've won 5 in their last 7. 7 wins this season, 2 draws, 1 loss. They've lost 1 all season. It's great. They look so good. Tottenham, Kane's on fire. But with United are actually looking good. United are actually looking strong. For me, at home, it's going to be a thrilling 3-2 Tottenham win. Tottenham will just about get a win. Going bold. Kane masterclass. Moving on to Fulham versus Villa. Is Gerrard out? If they lose this and Southampton win or draw, possibly, then Villa could be going into the relegation zone. Villa looking shocking. 2-0 loss to Chelsea, but I don't think they played too bad. I think they had chances where they probably should have scored. Kepa had a masterclass, so you can't really say much about it. He had an absolute corker of a game. Fulham, on the other hand, are looking a little bit poor now. They're 11th. I think they're really, showing. They had such a good start. I think they're really slipping off now. A 2-2 draw with Bournemouth, then 2 losses. Their last win was on the 16th of September, and we also did have the international break. For me, though, Fulham beat Villa. Villa have to win, and they won't. Moving on to Leicester versus Leeds. Leicester in 19th, really looking down in the mud. 4 points off safety, yes, but they're still looking pretty down. Leeds United in 15th. I'm looking all right. You know, a 1-0 loss over Arsenal isn't the worst. They had a few chances where she scored out a pen and a pen shout. It was a pen, red card, and then it got overturned in like the 90th minute to not pen, but a yellow card to Gabriel. But for me, Leicester have to win, and so do Leeds. A lot of teams on that 9-point stage, Leeds, Villa, and Wolves, right down in a relegation battle with Southampton, Leicester, and Nottingham Forest. For me, Leicester, they draw this. I think Leicester will get a point and must need a point. They were very wasteful over Crystal Palace. And that wraps up my predictions. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Crystal Palace 2, Wolves 0, Bournemouth 1, Southampton 0, Brentford 1, Chelsea 3, Liverpool 2, West Ham 2, Newcastle 2, Everton 1, Man United 2, Tottenham 3, Fulham 2, Villa 1, Leicester 1, Leeds 1. And going in to the last bit of this video, the league simulator. Absolutely huge, and that is the wrong league simulator. That's nice to know. Submit. There we go. So yeah, 10 games here. Leeds, Brentford, Villa, Bournemouth, Forest, Man United, Wolves, West Ham, Everton, Arsenal, Palace, Leicester, Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Southampton, Fulham City, and Liverpool, Brighton. So yeah, Chelsea in the mud. They have to win this game. Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Villa, Southampton, Newcastle, Everton, Wolves, Brighton, Palace, Brentford, Man City, Leicester, United, West Ham, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Forest are top. Who Chelsea got? Chelsea got Southampton. Where's that? Ooh, Chelsea need to win that. Leeds, yeah, Leeds got Brentford. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Let's see. Do Leeds win? Leeds get absolutely battered. Leeds 1, Brentford 3, Villa 0, Bournemouth 0, Forest 2, Man United 2. The leaders drop points over Man United. Wolves 2, West Ham 0, Everton 0, Arsenal 1, Palace 1, Leicester 2, Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1, Chelsea 1, Southampton 3, Fulham 4, Man City 0, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. And looking at that, Liverpool gain on Forest, 1 point separate those two sides. Chelsea are 12 points off safety. Not looking good for Chelsea. This goes Chelsea, Leeds, and Bournemouth in the relegation zone, as Villa, Fulham, and Everton and Brighton are all in that relegation mix. Mid-table, Palace, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man City, Southampton, and West Ham. In the Conference League is Wolves, Europa League, United, and Brentford. And the Champions League spots at the moment consist of Tottenham, Leicester, Liverpool, and the leaders going into game week 13 is Nottingham Forest, 1-7, drawn 2, and lost 3. So yeah, that does wrap up the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. An interesting league simulator, an interesting Super Brew, and yes, it's going to be interesting. What a interesting game week. The best game week's been postponed. The best game has been postponed. But yeah, that doesn't matter. So lots of interesting games going on this week. See you guys later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit notification bell. We're 8 away from 150. Could we hit that? And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.